What's up, YouTube? So, I went to go check the mail, and I thought I had the right key, and it turns out I didn't. The last couple of days, I've been looking for the key to my mailbox, and I fucking found it. And just so I don't lose it again, I attached it onto the same grenade pin ring as my apartment keys, so... And I never fucking lose this. So, that's what's up. Yeah. I got tired of fucking dealing with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't check my fucking mail, and by the time I find my fucking key, my fucking mailbox is full of bills that I've already paid, junk mail, and what have you. So, yeah. So the other day, I was taking a crap, and I'm not shitting you. I pulled some toilet paper off the roll, and the whole roll comes undone, and it could have landed anywhere, but I'm not fucking shitting you, YouTube. It lands right in the toilet that I just got done crapping in. I'm like, well, ain't this ironic? You're trying to wipe your fucking ass, and the toilet paper, along with the little tube that you stick in the middle of the roll that hangs on the frame of it. So pretty much the little springy tube and the toilet paper fucking fell in the toilet, yeah. And I was careful not to touch, like, the wetness of it, but, like, I grabbed the part of the toilet paper that was dry and I threw it in the trash, the whole roll, because I'm not gonna, yeah, that's gross. I'm like, great, that little bullshit incident just costed me a roll. I'm like, well, that's fucking fantastic. And I reach over to flush it, and then I look down and I'm like, oh crap. The springy little tube thing was still in there, and I'm like, oh great. And before I had a chance to grab it, it went down the toilet. I'm like, oh great. And then what followed was the toilet itself was not exactly what you'd call flushing right. So then I end up, you know, calling my landlord and what have you, and someone else picked up. And I had mentioned that my toilet was broken again. Got that fixed. Other just a couple days after getting out of the toilet fucking fixed, I'm getting out of the shower, and the bathroom floor is a little wet, and I slip and I hit my head on the wall. I'm just like, oh, why? And yeah, that fucking hurt. You can best believe that fucking hurt. And it didn't put a crack in my skull, mind you, thankfully enough, but there's a little something in the wall, and I'm like, oh, great. And we've all had those moments where we're just unbelievably clumsy, and you know, you sit there after the incident, going, "How the fuck did that even happen?" Like, it's just, it's frustrating because, you know, it hurts, but at the same time you're like, "Oh God, no one was there to see it," you know. I mean, we all have those fucking days, right? You know, so. I haven't had any repercussions from the slip, so we'll get in on that. But it's not too bad. You can't even hardly notice it, so yeah. And it's just fucking, and it's like, you know, you seriously have to fucking ask yourself how. And the simplest answer I could give you, YouTube, is that I am naturally a clumsy person. And self-conscious of it am I. Yes, most definitely. I got this new shaver that does a bang-up job of shaving my face. I mean, this new shaver that I got shaves my face to the point where it's just clean shaven. And literally, you think that I would have used shaving cream and a razor. That's how good this rechargeable razor is. But no, I don't use any shaving cream. I just use a rechargeable. This new rechargeable I got that I strictly use for my face and right here. It does a nice job. Like it cleans up, keeps my face smooth and shit. When you're working in the fast food industry and they have certain requirements, one of which is to be clean shaven, you know what I'm saying? And finding a decent razor to fucking meet those requirements, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that seems to have done the trick. You know. And of course, I made reference to the CIA in my last video. When I said, you know, when I was talking about the new clock-in system at work, you have to scan your thumbprint. They have to put you in the computer and then scan your thumbprint. When I said the CIA, I didn't mean the actual CIA. I was kind of joking. It's a acronym for Cheeseburgers Indulgence Association. You know, because like the CIA is all secretive and shit, and they probably have like scanners. Like, if you're an agent, scan your print here or some shit. I don't fucking know. I'm just guessing. It was kind of a joke I was making, and then, you know, I stopped and I thought about it for a second. I'm like, how can I acronym that to where it's actually funny? And I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, now I got that distraction out of me, because I'm fixated on a fucking thought. I have to, you know, I got that figured out, and I'm like, okay, where the fuck's my mail key? I went ham on cleaning my apartment not too long ago, so I'm thinking to myself, I might have placed it somewheres, but where exactly? So I'm digging through my shit, and I finally find it, and I'm like, okay, I'm tired of fucking losing this, so where's the best place to put this so I never fucking lose it? On the one thing I never fucking lose, which is my apartment keys. Because, like, especially if I'm wearing a coat, you know what I'm saying? Drop the keys in my coat, keep the coat on me, I'm good to go. You know, the only time I take off the coat is like I'm doing something, like working or what have you. With the colder weather and shit, I got my camo coat on, you know what I'm saying? But, you know. Now, I called my landlord and the services and what have you, and they're like, well, you can check out a mailbox key from the office. Well, can you? Sweet. I walked down to the office, and they're like, well, actually, you have to go to the post office to get a new one made. Alright, cool, whatever. Not really a big deal. I just wish they would have told me that over the phone, so I, you know what I'm saying, go down there thinking. And I'm like, well, that could cost some moolah. I'm thinking to myself, well, it's got to be around here somewhere. And then sure as shit, I find my fucking mailbox key. Took me a couple fucking days to find it, but at least I found it. Life is like a video game. You have obstacles to level up when you're... I mean, leveling up, I mean somewhat succeeding in life. And sex... Did I say that? I didn't mean to say sex. Wow, I meant success. Wow. Fucking tongue twisted here. Success. There we go. Wow, that was bad. You know, people are reporting on the news and they fucking slip up. Yeah, one of those. Success. There we go. Success doesn't necessarily have to be measured in, like, humongous things. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe one person's view of success is a corporation or high up on the corporate ladder or shit like that. Another person's view of success is just being able to get by in life. There we go. I said I was trying to say, but then fucking tongue twisted and still quite hyper on that fucking monster, mind you. I just got done creating a kick-ass album cover for my next album. And I got like 2 songs on my album. And then, like, in the spawn of caffeinated creativity. It's like, I saw my album cover and I'm like, I could touch it up a bit to make it a bit more badass. And I did just that. And it took me like 6 albums to get played on the radio, which is kind of cool. I've heard people in the comments like, dude, like, not even shitting you, you got played on the radio, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no way. It's fucking awesome. And honestly, small success is better than no success. So even if I spend the rest of my life chasing the rock star dream, and if the most I've succumbed to is getting played on the radio, that's better than nothing. Shit. Then of course I'll get messages on my YouTube channel saying that fans of mine listen to my music while they perform seances. I'm like, that's what's up. Now, speaking of my fans, one fan commented, I wish you had a P.O. box so that your real fans could send you really cool gifts and whatnot. Have you ever thought about getting a P.O. box? And the answer is not really, and if I could get a P.O. box that's set up at a post office, not my direct address, then yeah, I would get a P.O. box. But the main reason I haven't gotten one is because, you know, I appreciate the fact that fans want to send me shit, but at the same time, you don't just give your address out to complete strangers on the internet. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? Like, just fucking common sense here. But the response that person got was just, it made me look cheap and it pissed me off. The person said that they cost about 2 packs of smokes a month, not in his budget. Dude, really? If they're that cheap, then I could, if you can theoretically get a P.O. box set up at a post office, which I think you could, pretty sure you could, and it's not linked to my direct address, then yeah, I'll get a P.O. box set up. But like I said, you can't just, you know what I'm saying, like, you can't just give your direct, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that I've come so far on YouTube that people want to send me shit. In fact, just the other day, I am not bullshitting you, just the other day I was at work and I had a fan come in. He liked watching my videos, you know what I'm saying? He was just nervous as fuck to meet me, and yeah, it was kind of flattering in a sense, I'm not going to lie. Wasn't expecting it, but then when he got done eating at Wendy's, he's like, hey man, could you like sign my paper bag? I'm like, yeah man, sure, no problem. Now, I should have said this a long fucking time ago, but what I do on my channel and what you see in my documentary does not reflect the views or opinions of Wendy's Incorporated. Yeah. Straight up. Because I get a lot of crap online for some of the stuff I post, for being too opinionated or too much of a sick sense of humor. And my sense of humor is dark, don't get me wrong, like, don't get it twisted. Yeah, I will acknowledge this firsthand. My sense of humor is fucking twisted, okay? But I say this shit joking, I don't actually mean it, you know what I'm saying? Like, in all honesty, I'm being blunt. I can make jokes about abortion and the Holocaust, and as sick as that is, man, I'm just joshing. See, that was a joke about, that right there, that was a joke about my first name, because my first name is Josh. You want to hear an abortion joke? Donald Trump's mom should have aborted. Oh! So, big kudos to whoever fixed my toilet. I was talking back and forth with this plumbing company on my phone, and they seem to have fixed the issue, and it's like, yeah, no. Like, yeah, no, I can't, you know what I'm saying? And the flushing was half-assed. I'm like, it's just one thing on top of a fucking another, man. And yeah, those are my shortcomings, but they could be worse. You know, went from that to having a friend of mine give me a ride home from work today, bought me a pack of cigarettes, because I was out, and then bought me 2 Monsters. I'm like, well, that was an unexpected kind gesture. It was greatly appreciated, so. Life in a fucking nutshell. You go from having just kind of a messed up week because little shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what are the fucking odds? Okay, I get done pooping, I'm like, alright, I gotta wipe my ass. Part of the bathroom procedures, basically, if I'm being straightforward with it. And you have this little springy tube that sits on the frame. So when you pull the toilet paper, it rolls freely. Okay, we all know how that shit works, right? At least I hope you do. Okay, I must have pulled too fucking hard because that little springy thing came undone from the frame and landed in the toilet. Yeah. Oh, man. And then just the other day, I was riding my bike around town, listening to my music on my iPhone. And then, of course, I go to pull my phone out. I'm at a stop sign at a crosswalk waiting for traffic to ease up. And while I'm waiting for traffic to ease up, I pull my phone out to change the music. And the fucking headphones come undone from the phone. I'm like, goddamn, I dropped my phone on the ground. But thankfully enough, like I said, it could be worse. I didn't break my headphones. I didn't spider crack my screen. My phone actually has a protective case on it, so yeah. But I cussed about it. No doubt I fucking cussed about it. There were no little kids around. Traffic was going by, so no one fucking heard me. You know. And my honest opinion on cussing is that if you're going to get offended by cussing, it's childish, because there are more offensive things in the world out there. Oh, someone says fuck. Oh, real offensive. Do they walk over, bend down, pull their pants down, take a huge ass shit and smear it in your face? Oh, they didn't. They didn't take a shit and smear it in your face. They did not take a shit and smear it in your face. They didn't. Oh, okay, so all they said was a bunch of cuss word. Get over it. Science has proven that people who cuss are generally more honest. And I did not stunt that when I say that my channel is not necessarily for kids, but when you get mad at me for cussing, if your child's watching my channel, and the answer is no, you should be mad. The answer is no, you should be mad at yourselves, because if your kid's watching YouTube, you as a parent need to know that there is a lot of suggestive crap on YouTube that's not necessarily appropriate for kids. So you want to get mad at the YouTube artist for making content. That's not really fair. You know, parents need to be a bit more responsible if they don't want their kids learning how to cuss or learning certain behavior patterns or suggestive things. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that exactly fair? You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then the kid picks up on them, and they may or may not know what the words mean. They start cussing. Parents be like, okay, where'd you learn how to talk? And then they find out that, like, they're either listening to explicit music or they're getting it from somewhere, okay? And the parents are not monitoring what their kids are taking in for the mass media. And that could be any social media outlet. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be Facebook, you know what I'm saying? And there's just certain things you need to know as a parent. Now, I'm not telling you how to fucking raise your kid. I really am not, man. But you get pissed off at your kid. You get pissed off that your kid knows how to cuss. You go on any social media website, like Facebook, someone posts a picture, and people talk mad smack on the internet. And I mean mad fucking smack. And it's like, do you really want to fucking sit there and blame mass media for your kids cussing, when you as a parent could have done a better job paying attention. Now, does that mean, you're constantly in your kid's business? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, you gotta give your kids some privacy, you know what I'm saying? But at the same fucking time, it's like, okay, you know what? If you find out your kid's learning how to cuss from social media, then, step in a little bit. I'm not exactly a parent, but that's just common fucking sense. There it is. I use tobacco, I drink, I cuss. I'm not exactly a positive role model for kids, but I'm blunt. What do you want from me? Oh, yeah. Let's get a close-up of action on that snuff pile. Blueberry tobacco. It's nasal snuff. You snort it. Get you a nice nicotine buzz. Oh yeah, that's good shit. And people say you're not supposed to do a shit ton of it, like a little you know what I'm saying? There are no written rules, okay? There are literally no written rules to how you're supposed to do your nasal snuff. And the only reason they say that you're supposed to do a little pinch of it is because it burns like fucking crazy. But I did a shit ton of it, and I'm like, I'm used to it. Once the burn subsides, you get that tobacco, it goes in the back of your throat, and it settles in the nasal cavity in the back of your throat, and all you'll taste is blueberry. You'll smell blueberry, and then the nicotine gets absorbed into your bloodstream through that settling in your back of your throat, and sometimes it'll drip down the back of your throat from snorting it, Some people, fair warning, if you're going to do snuff, you need to be 18 years of age or old enough to consume tobacco in your place of residence. The second thing I will tell you is that if you have never done tobacco at all, period, let alone snuff, this shit burns, okay? People who sit there and say, oh, I can handle it, and they've never done tobacco, and then they take a huge-ass line of snuff, and they're sitting there tearing up going, oh, it burns, And to show I'm not fucking around with my snuff, look at that. Oh, look at that snuff action, YouTube. That's a nice fat fucking line. Oh, yeah, get it. And this is the blueberry snuff. This is the Silver Dollar brand. It says, warning, this product is not a safe alternative to cigarettes. And that's just a little Surgeon General warning, and obviously not because you're snorting tobacco into your nose rather than smoking it, but oh yeah. Okay, that line was, oh fuck, yeah, that did it. Oh. That was enough to get me to cheer up a little bit. Oh yeah, there we go. I guess it depends on who you talk to. People who do nasal snuff, some people say that they like their lines fat. Some people say they do a medium to moderate. Some people say they do a little bit. Oh. I guess it depends on how bad you want it to burn. Excuse me. And, once the burning subsides, actually, it's quite pleasant. It's really nice. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, major tobacco drip. Oh. Ooh. There we go. Getting all of that nasal snuff from the back of my cavity and having it go down into my throat, and then like it literally gets caught up in the mucousy membranes. Then you process all of that, and then fucking it hits your system like. It's the equivalent of taking a spoonful of horseradish and going, oh, yeah. So if you are a tobacco connoisseur and you have not tried snuff, would I recommend nasal snuff? Yeah, I would actually. I like the blueberry flavor. It's quite delicious actually. Now here's the thing, YouTube. When I ordered the shotgun sling on a Monday, they said they get there with 5 business days and they'll be here sometime early next week. Now, they might have packaged it in a package that was so small that was small enough the package might have been able to fit in my mailbox. I don't know. That or they hasn't gotten here yet. One of the two. But so if you're doing like snuff, it helps to have something to drink with the side of it, you know, like water or tea or whatever, you know, whiskey, whatever the fuck. It helps with clearing out your throat and shit. Ooh. I have a major caffeine buzz, and like the nicotine I just consumed is like, yeah. Now suppose the risk you would run with nasal snuff would be cancer of the throat and cancer of the nose. But throat and nose cancer are a lot harder to get than like lung cancer and shit. And if cannabis becomes legal, you know, the Surgeon General warning on a pack of cigarettes will be a fucking joke. Because cannabis lowers high blood pressure, high cholesterol, reduces the risk of getting cancer, helps with cancer pain, and or kills it. Smoking cigarettes, of course, has been known to lead to heart disease, high blood pressure, loss of limbs, all kinds of nasty shit. And you stop and think about why the fuck people do it, because, oh my god, a cigarette tastes so fucking good. Like, when you're having a bad fucking day and you just need to fucking smoke and eat about, you know what I'm saying, like, any smoker will fucking tell you, you're having a bad fucking day, and you just want a fucking cigarette in fucking 20 to 25 minutes to, you know, smoke that cigarette and go, okay, back to reality, you know. And not saying back to reality as in you're high or anything, but saying back to reality because it's a coping mechanism. And anybody who talks down to a cigarette smoker because their habit is filthy and disgusting, it goes far beyond just the nicotine. It's a way to cope with life, basically. And just because somebody, you know, and this is the thing, people do things to cope with life. It doesn't necessarily have to be cigarette smoking. These people who exercise to cope with life are hypocrites because they're using something to cope with life. It doesn't necessarily have to be unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like these people who get off on their high horse. Oh, you smoke cigarettes to cope with life. Your habit is so filthy and disgusting. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. And then oh, what do you do to cope with life? Well, I do Pilates and lots of yoga, and I drink lots of vegetable juice and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I don't care. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't know, people might say drinking soda is bad for you, and yeah, it is. It is. Soda's disgustingly bad for you. But who cares, man? It's life. You only got one life. Fucking live it. You know what I'm saying? Soda in moderation, like, you know what I'm saying, like, isn't bad. But if you start drinking soda excessively, like heavily, it can lead to unhealthy consequences. You know what I'm saying? So, if you can stomach it, I'd recommend drinking V8 vegetable juice. Oh, hells to the yeah. Some people are like, oh, the original. Some people don't like the original just because of that tomatoey taste. It's all about personal. So V8 offers freaking the fruit fusion, the fruit fusions and shit. So like they offer like the fruit drinks and stuff that still have the recommended, yeah. But but it has electrolytes. You've seen the movie Idiocracy. Watching that movie scares me. It doesn't give me nightmares, but it makes you think. That if idiots in this country are allowed to fucking breed, it produces more idiots. And by idiots, I mean idiots who think that Obama was the one that did the Paris attacks. Yeah, there are people that are that fucking stupid. I sit there and I go, wow, people. Okay, you're entitled to not like somebody because of their political beliefs. I get that. But to go off on a branch as to far enough to say that, oh, wow. Cocksucking motherfucking ISIS was the one that did the terrorist attacks. And calling them cocksucking motherfuckers, well, calling ISIS cocksucking motherfuckers, that would be an insult to cocksucking motherfuckers now, wouldn't it? ISIS is trying to intimidate America, and they're trying, but, something to think about, America, is we're kind of desensitized to violence. Case in point, the Saw series. Now, if you will, I'm going to do a Jigsaw impersonation. Hello, ISIS. I'd like to play a game. Yeah! I vote that we make ISIS flag themed toilet paper. It doesn't have to be black, necessarily, just the design of their flag etched onto some toilet paper. So every time you wipe your fucking ass, you're wiping it with their flag. Yeah! Now, in the news of politicalness, okay, no, this is weird. Every time I fucking shave, my fucking face itches. Ugh. But, no, but seriously, ISIS has control over a lot of oil. Now, when somebody holds you captive, it ain't right. You step in to help them out, the captives out, and the captors don't like you helping them out, you know what I'm saying? Case in point, ISIS holds a shit ton of people captive. America's like, well, we don't like that. So they step in, or we step in, I should say, as Americans, we step in, and we bomb the base that ISIS had the captives at, and we help those captives escape. Great. So we're doing something to try to help and fight, you know what I'm saying, become a part of the resistance in a sense. But ISIS is like, oh, hell no. So that they turn around and they kill 2 American journalists. I don't think they realized the Pandora box they just opened up with doing that. Americans are some goddamn bullies. You think not? No, 9/11 happened. Yeah, that shit legitimately sucked. Like, for once in this country, people stopped caring about what fucking color your skin was, what race you were, what your sexual preference was. None of that fucking shit mattered because they were there to mourn for a tragedy, right? But, they blame the terrorists. Okay, so, and it was really a terrorist attack. That's really what it was, plain and simple, There's a lot of crazed conspiracy theories out there of people saying that our government did it. Whether or not you believe that is entirely up to you. But, coincidentally enough, the government picked the one area of the Middle East at the time that had the most fucking oil. We go to war with them to fight, quote-unquote, the terrorism, but you pick the one country, the one area of the country, they named it, and when you did a little bit of research and you dig deeper into it, it's like, wait a second. that area of the country has a lot of oil. Oh, okay. And I can remember when Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden were considered the terroristic threat, much like ISIS is considered the terroristic threat right now, and how people thought they couldn't be stopped. Well, guess what? They got their asses capped. So, it's only a matter of time, man. If you sit and talk to an actual Muslim, not some ironical asshole, they'll probably tell you that Allah is a peace-loving deity. You know. This isn't the first time that people have done extremist crap in the name of religion. Christians, unfortunately, get this crap too. Not all Christians are sadistic assholes, but you get a couple of them that just do some unquestionably weird and insane shit, all in the name of Jesus or some bullshit. Case in point, drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah. Now, people who practice paganistic tradition beliefs, simplify it at that, whether you're Wiccan, Satanist, Luciferian, pagan, it doesn't really matter because they all use similar symbols, and the rituals they do, to a degree, are similar. Although a Wiccan may not sacrifice a goat to Satan, Satanists might, however, do that. Not all Satanists do this, however, and if the goat does get sacrificed in a ritual, any true Satanist will then eat the goat after the ritual, so it doesn't get wasted. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people have gotten negative views about pagan belief because of, again, the extreme crap that crazy assholes have done in the name of Satan. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy asshole kills a bunch of people, and then they got the news interviewing this person, and the person in question will say things like, Satan made me do it. And they do this kind of crap because they use it as a, pardon the term, scapegoat. I just got done making the goat sacrifice reference. Yeah, well, no, but in all seriousness, though, they do it because it takes distraction, and it further fuels this religious hate war. So now that we're starting to see an acceptance of, same-sex marriage and all that jazz, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so now Americans have to pick something else to fear. Well, terrorist group claims to be Muslim and then terrorizes the world. Now, they're doing this because they want people to think Muslims are bad. That's why ISIS claims to be Muslim. Think about this for a second, okay? And by doing this, what does this do? What it's doing right now. Which is creating Muslim phobia. Okay? And then, trigger-happy America, of course. Now, here's the thing. If we're going to take out ISIS, man, we got to be surgical about it. Obama's got a point about this when he was talking about his speech. And the reason why is because if you logically slow down and think about this for a second, okay? If you go into countries where ISIS is supposedly hiding and just start bombing the crap out of them, something that people like Donald Trump was all in favor for, okay, you end up killing a lot of innocent civilians in the process. And because of that, guess who looks like the bad guys in this situation? We do. Okay? So it would not fucking matter if we're going in there to try to destroy ISIS, okay? If we do not handle this situation properly, it can start another fucking war real fucking quick. And, in the time when we're trying to make things right, in some cases America can make things worse, Now, the way I see it, as fucked up as it is, if America hadn't butted into ISIS's plans, if they hadn't bombed the fuck out of their little hideout and helped those hostages escape, those 2 American journalists wouldn't have died, and at some point, the people battling ISIS, or the people who are under their rule, would have seen what kind of crap they're pulling and would have been like, okay, we're sick of this crap. And at some point, they might, just maybe, might have pulled an American Revolutionary War on their asses and rebelled. Huh? That, or eventually they would have asked for help from other people like, hey, man, come on now, you know what I'm saying? And appropriately, yes, I think if we would have waited to ask, for them to ask for help, yeah, it would have looked a lot less bad, but at the same time, some hostages might have died. And, you know, it's a touchy subject because in some instances you really can't win with it, you know. But that doesn't necessarily mean we can't win the battle against ISIS, because I'm confident we will, you know. They're just another fucking obstacle to overcome. In fact, we could sentence ISIS members to get raped by pedophiles. Huh? Yeah. And then kill them both at the same time. Just blam, 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 blam. You know, in some parts of the world, you can kill a pedophile and they won't charge you for nothing. Yeah. You go to Ireland, you can kill a pedophile and they won't say shit about it. The cops will be like, oh yeah, you had an alibi. Although you kill a pedophile here in America, like in the one case involving that dude with his former Cub Scout leader, he found out where the bastard was living, and he stabbed him to death. Now, when you're accusing somebody of molesting you when you're younger, that's a pretty serious accusation. And then, to top it all off, the former Cub Scout leader in question was put on trial for the issue. Several people came forward with similar stories, and yet, you know what I'm saying, like, he was acquitted of it because there was not enough evidence stacked. Well, ain't that some bullshit? Karma bit him hard in the ass because one of his victims came back and stabbed him to death. The cops arrested the man who stabbed him to death, and upon further investigation, they found, you know, inappropriate child material in his house. I'm like, oh, if they would have found that fucking evidence when he was on trial for it, I'm willing to bet you he would have been found guilty. So justice, in a sense, did get served. He got stabbed to death, you know. And the funny thing of it is that the man who did it said, yeah, I stabbed him to death, so fucking what, you know. And they reduced his murder charge to a manslaughter charge. And as he was walking out of the fucking courtroom, guess what happened? The entire courtroom erupted into applause. I bullshit you not. Yeah, so, you know. Justice. But justice does not always play such a kind light on American society, or anywhere for that matter. In one case in Texas, in the very same town, this kid goes into a Walmart liquor store and he steals liquor from a Walmart store. He then goes drinking and driving with the liquor in his system, and he kills 4 people in this town in Texas. Okay, 4 fucking people. And then he goes to court. Does he get charged with anything? No. And his lawyer's excuse is, well, he has affluenza. Because he grew up in a spoiled, overly privileged house. He doesn't understand the consequences of his actions. So can you beat it? The fucking judge says, well, guilty of nothing. But he's put on probation for it. Okay, well, that's something at least. And then he gets in trouble again for violating his probation. It's like, dude, come on, man. Throw the book at him a little bit. And then, oh, this is where it gets just downright disgusting. So this guy kills 4 people drinking and driving, stealing liquor from a Walmart in Texas. Now, get this, the very same town, the very same exact town where this affluenza buttfuck got away with murdering 4 people drinking and driving, the very same town. They busted this guy making pot brownies and selling them. And do you know what they give this guy? Life in prison. It just, it makes my fucking head hurt. considering how many recorded deaths are there on marijuana? 0. If you do any research on cannabis, you will find that it's very fucking hard to overdose. You'd have to smoke 4 to 8 times your body weight in under 15 minutes or less to receive a lethal dosage of THC. And the thing of it is, you get to the point where you're so fucking stoned, you eventually pass the fuck out, and you wake up fucking hungry to fucking, just, you know what I'm saying, depending on the weed. Some weed will give you the munchies, some weed kind of really won't. It'll just help numb the pain or whatever you're going through. And, you know, it really depends on what strain you're getting. But yeah, I'm just like, well, that's the fucking justice system for you, man. This fucking war on drugs, because the thing of it is, and I'm willing to bet you this goes a bit deeper, because them good old boys in Texas, you know what I'm saying? Alcohol is not as frowned upon as, like, cannabis, you know what I'm saying? And the thing of it is, YouTube, is alcohol in extreme amounts can cause liver cancer. Marijuana can treat liver cancer. The thing of it is, though, if you drink too much fucking alcohol and you need to avoid a hangover, you get done drinking some alcohol, you smoke some weed, drink some water before you pass the fuck out, you wake up the next day, you drink some Sprite, no hangover. Imagine that. Because the cannabis, as it goes to work in the cannabinoid system, the parts of your body that cause or receive a hangover after drinking a little too much alcohol are then flooded with the cannabis chemical compound, which causes them to deflate, and it sort of takes that hangover, and it's like, say you have like this gigantic glob of material, and you have this other stuff sitting outside of it, and then it's like that glob is your cannabis, and it's taking your material outside of that glob, which is the material outside of that glob is your hangover. It goes, absorbs it, destroys it upon impact. And, you know, for some people who have a couple drinks after work, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, if you can't get cannabis to deal with your fucking hangover, Sprite, it does work. I'm not shitting you. I've used it before. Especially if you have work the next day, it makes your work day that much more productive if you can get over your hangover like that. And then eventually, you know what I'm saying, and even better if you can, like, drink to have a good time, but not drink to the point you get a fucking hangover. But eventually, you build up a tolerance. I've noticed that my alcohol tolerance has gone up quite a lot since turning 21. It takes a lot to get me fucking hungover. A lot of alcohol. A lot. And even when you do get a hangover, and you don't necessarily have the first best option, I'm telling you right now, cannabis is your first best option. If it were legal, it could be used to do this kind of thing. You know, say it with me. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Cannabis, Hemp, Firearms, and Explosives. That's a mouthful, yes, but, you know, the government is notorious for loving to make money, and then yet, you know, they're still sitting there kind of dicking around and twiddling their thumbs with this whole cannabis thing. You know, I found out a long time ago that the United States government has its own pot farm. Then I saw an article on CNN. The United States government creates first legal pot farm. Like, times are definitely changing. Tell you what. whether you agree with my opinions, disagree with them, like, there's another fucking video. You may ask what that trash can is for. I keep it underneath my wand bench should I go to carve a wand or a staff. And before doing that, I have a tarp I put underneath the trash can so that all the wood shavings get on the tarp, and it makes the mess from carving minimal. But until then, this is KingCobraJFS with another video. Thanks for crack-a-lacking and watching the video, chilling like a villain, you know what I'm saying? I'll catch y'all later.